Hello and welcome back to art class. Today we're going to wrap up our 3D shapes. Where you should be is you should have all of the drawing pretty much completed, where you have the shapes exploding out from the center. The coloring should be almost completed. Maybe some of you actually continued on and finished the whole thing. That's okay. We still have one other thing to do besides finish the coloring here. What you're coloring, you want to double check. Is the coloring really lightly done from the part that's exploding out? Is the shape itself done really dark? That really enhances the look of the exploding shape. So my first thing I need to do is finish this up. You are going to need a few things today. You're going to want to have your crayons today still. You're going to want to have a pencil. You're going to want an eraser. And it's always handy just for this project like this to have a ruler around. Shouldn't need it today, but if I need to fix something, that's always kind of handy to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is wrap up these real fast, and then I'm going to talk about how to make it look even more like it's exploding out. We're going to do some stuff in the background. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward real quick as I finish wrapping these pieces up, and then I'll get to doing the background. Now that I have mine fully colored here, I want to work on the background. Now the background is pretty simple. We want it to look a little bit more like it's actually exploding out. So we're going to need like an explosion in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add a little bit of a zigzag pattern. Let me flip this over. So we got our dot here, and I want it to look like it's kind of zigzagging like this. Now we got to be careful with our zigzag though, our star that we're going to be kind of creating. We're going to have multiple layers. We're going to have a red layer, then an orange layer, and then a yellow layer. But we got to be careful with how many points we put on it. If we start doing this, where we have all these little tiny ones, that is just a real pain to color, and it's never really gonna look good with the crayons. That would be something more like a colored pencil project, and we're using crayons for this because it just looks really nice for the kind of project that we're doing. So we're gonna keep our pointed stars very simple, fairly big. So when I do this, my first one is gonna be pretty close. And I just have to basically just kind of put a star between the lines. Sometimes the point's going to go down, sometimes the point's going to go up. It kind of depends on what you are working with. Now this one I could fit a few more in, there's a little bit more room because it's a smaller shape. Like that. Okay, so this first round is going to be my red. I'm going to keep my red really, really dark too. Red works best, but if you have a brick red, that would be as well. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna fill in space here. Make sure you outline so it looks really nice. Make sure you're coloring in super neat, and be careful not to go over your lines. You don't wanna ruin all the nice work you did with the straight lines, being sloppy in this part. Okay, so there's my first part of this. Then I'm going to go and make it get a little bit bigger. Again, keep it big, don't do small ones. Okay, there we go. That one's gonna be orange. If you can, try to have your coloring marks go like they're exploding out from the center as well. last round is going to be yellow. And that one's going to be just at the edge of the shapes. Now this one was actually a little bit low, that's why actually I'm going around that one. I should have probably put the shape a little bit further out. All right, there it goes. Now once you get completed, I need you to take a photograph of this, upload it to Google Classroom, and I will see you next week.